punish me for what my daddy did. So if my daddy was a murderer and a robber and a killer, I'm grown. My father could have lost his life, or he might be locked up, and now I'm grown. So your daddy don't necessarily have to be dead according to the flesh. He can just be dead in his spirit. But I'm alive now too, and now I'm in my early 20s, and I'm an adult. And God is coming to me like, yeah, your daddy is such and such. Who are you? And most likely you're living in a condition in your life that is a result of how your daddy raised you or didn't raise you and the effect it had on you. Now, 2 Corinthians 10, read verse, oh, I ain't even go there. My fault. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5 and 6.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing down into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Okay, so we get ourselves in order in putting down the wickedness in our hearts when we start to do things by the mind of Christ. His commandment said us we do that, that will kill the thought I had against whatever I'm supposed to do that's right. Go ahead.
And having a readiness to revenge all disobedience.
Now, disobedience is iniquity. Disobedience is sin. Now, we are having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when what?
When your obedience is fulfilled.
When your obedience is fulfilled. So when you are obedient, you are taking out your revenge even on your own disobedience in your life. The thing that has made us walk in the sight of God as being sinners, you revenge that. When you take revenge, it usually means something is getting destroyed. So avenge and revenge. I'm going to take revenge for them killing my brother, or I'm going to avenge my brother's death. Them two words are synonymous with one another, revenge and avenge. So we found out that one of the contexts of visiting is avenge.
Right.
Bestow upon, to come to, whether friendly or hostile. So now when God bestows or avenges the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and he's letting you know how long he's looking for some repayment, all the way to the 3rd and 4th generation. So he'll be watching a family over more than a century to see how these people are going to turn out. Should I let this bloodline continue, or should I destroy it? Because brothers and sisters, you got to look. The Lord destroyed some bloodlines. I'm talking about took them off where he say, ain't nobody going to be left in this man descendants that piss against the wall. Meaning, you know who piss against the wall, right? Males do. Not females, males do. It may be some women from that bloodline, but women get grafted into other families because they bear seed for other men. But the males, I won't leave nobody 100 years from now, your family line won't exist because I done took out everybody that pissed against the wall in your bloodline. What is he doing? He's visiting the children as they grow and become adults. You don't get it right, you might live to be old, but that son and daughters that you had, he looking to them now. And he want to see when is the disobedience going to stop. So we got to be careful where we stand, because our life ain't just about us. Our whole family history is on the line.
Right.
We know that some of our fathers have failed us. Some of us don't even know what our daddies look like. I know I don't. I never met him. And I'm in my early 30s. I ain't never seen dude. You understand what I'm saying? But a condition was created. There was some animosity in my heart growing up as a boy who never seen, and he not dead according to the flesh. He seen it. He might be dead another way though. So what did that create? A cat who, once I got to a certain age, Mom Dukes couldn't really rein me in. So I'm out here doing whatever, getting in the jukes, drugged out heavy all the time, fornicating with mad women, all of that. I'm just being honest. Maybe y'all don't got this story or something. But these are some of the things that I was involved in, and that was a result of the mother without the man around wind up having about, what, 4 or 5 babies. Out of us 4 or 5, it's about 3 different daddies altogether, right? That's sin, though. to be continuing to have these children out of wedlock. The Lord don't like that. So now that's you growing up in that situation, right? Now, as you got a woman looking for love, man is in and out of her life. She never able to come unto just settling down with somebody else eventually. And some women have found that. They never really been with more than a couple men in their life. May have had a child or something, but then eventually it didn't work out because she had a child young, but she found another man and wound up getting married, and her life kind of worked out a little bit as far as having some stability for the household. But in our ghettos, y'all know too many sisters that's raising babies, and all the babies ain't by the same man. So that's a sin right there. The man not being there is a sin, right? Then the children are growing up, they beefing, they wilding, and these girls is destined to grow up and have babies at 15 and 16 without being married. The sons end up in jail, end up drug dealers in the hood, I mean, let's just be honest. But what is it a result of? How I grew up. My father failed me, and his daddy probably failed him. And the Lord looking at me in this generation like, what you gonna do? Because your daddy and your granddaddy jived and messed up a little bit before me. And one of them might still be alive. I'll figure out what I want to do with him. Who knows? He might repent later or something. So I'm not condemning anyone. But what I'm saying is that as you grow up in sin and you're not walking right before the Lord, He is looking to the next generation. All of us in here represent the next generation of our bloodline. What you gonna do, bruh? What you gonna do, sister? This is serious, and God say, I am avenging the iniquity of the fathers upon the third, all the way to the third and fourth generation. I'm looking upon it. I'm coming to all these generations. I know how your daddy was. This is his reputation with me. Who are you? Now, let us go into Jeremiah 31. This is the reason, one of the reasons why we are over here as descendants of those who were brought to this country as slaves. We were put into slavery because of our disobedience to God in the land. Deadbeat daddies ain't just start here. It was deadbeat daddies in the land. Mothers who were clamorous, boisterous, promiscuous women ain't just new here. That was happening in the land. That's why we got put out. Brothers, it's time for us to change something. But we can't change it on our own. Jeremiah 31, start at verse 27, please.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beasts. And it shall come to pass that like I have watched over them to pluck them and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Now,
the Lord is talking about when He redeemed His people, and He redeemed Judah and Israel back, and how He's going to set them in order, because the time is a time where He had to destroy them and pluck them up. But now it's a time where He's going to build them and plant them. And when that happens, they will say no more, the fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. So it's almost like saying, look, my daddy ate them grapes and they should have stained his teeth. But how my teeth stained too? And you saying you didn't, you're not saying you ate the grape too. You saying my daddy did something that I'm paying for. That's what that statement means. It started to become a saying among our people. The fathers is doing stuff and the children is paying for it. Right? Some of us in here understand the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26. It would seem that we would be able to make that statement, right? It would seem like we'd be able to make that statement. Like, yo, all this stuff that has happened and caused us to have to grow up here in this country as the descendants of slaves, why did all that happen? According to the word, most of us know that happened because of what our fathers did in the land, right? Right. So because of what our fathers did, they ate them sour grapes in the land, but we the ones who got to pay over here, being the minorities, being the ones under the stereotype. We the ones that's destined to go to jail. We the ones we get